this is Rama Screen, and this is a new segment that I like to call Fellow Geeks, where we feature the coolest geeks around us and put a spotlight on their creativity. So for this segment, I would like to feature my friend, good old friend, Dexter dstar01. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you, Rama? Thank
Cool.
you for having me. This is like the first time I've ever done a Q&A for my toys.
Like the game 20 questions. This will be 50 questions. We'll be done by tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I know. I'm okay. Let's do it. I've been doing this toy thing for so long. I have so much information I want to share with the world.
Awesome.
So I'm ready. I'm ready.
So should I refer you to dstar01, right?
You can call me D-Star.
Yeah.
You can call me Dexter. I always introduce myself as Dexter to my channel, so people don't like look at me like, oh, it's D-Star, because that's just weird. Like, oh, someone's calling me a nickname. It's like, oh, hey, Rama Screen, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're Rama Screen, right? And they're like, what's his real name? I forgot.
Yes.
It's like,
I prefer calling me by sir, but it's okay.
okay.
So when did this passion of yours for toys and action figures start? Where did this passion come from?
Oh, let's take it back. Let's take it back. Okay, so I'm 7 years old, and we're going to the mall with my family, and my brother is super into comics. Now, I don't like to admit this because I don't like to ever credit my brother for everything. Sorry, man, if you're watching this. Okay? But let's face it, he did credit a lot of my geekdom. Happened when he started collecting comic books. And so we went to this toy store, and we found this Punisher action figure. And since that, I was like, whoa, he looks just like the Punisher from the comics. He's got a gun, he's got the skull. I was like, oh, man. So it started there, and we just started eventually collecting everything that had to do with comic books. And what made it even more fun for us is that nobody at the time, we're talking like early 90s, nobody liked comics. Like, oh, comics is for geeks. And we're like, no, we like this. This is awesome. And guess what? I bet you like geek stuff now too, huh? No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible.
No, we're getting ahead of ourselves, actually. As you know, I have my own YouTube channel, but you have your own YouTube channel that's not about movies, not about TV, but about toys and action figures. And so, why do you want to start that platform?
Because my wife and I were thinking about doing something really fun. I already had a YouTube channel, and I used to make like music videos. And the problem with making music videos is gathering everyone together to do one project. Everyone has busy time schedules. It's really difficult to gather everyone together. So I was like, man, I really want to do something with YouTube because I have passions for all kinds of geekdom, like movies, video games, action figures. But then I asked my wife, I said, what should we do that's easy for us? And it was very obvious, action figures. I had so many of them. And the action figure like reviewer thing was starting to blow up on YouTube. And, you know, I feel like a lot of reviews should be taken, and I'm not saying that a lot of toy reviewers are bad. What I'm just saying is like there should be more than one way to review a toy. Some people will look at it with a camera like this, and then they'll just like look at the figure, and then they'll talk about it, right? Or it can be done cinematically. See, the fun part about YouTube is you can do whatever you want in any style, and that's the style I really wanted to show because a lot of these figures are super detailed. I mean, look at this, Rama. This doesn't look just like Robert Downey Jr. And sometimes a bad camera or...
That might actually be him.
Yeah, he's here right now. He's strong. He's like, hey, Robert, how you doing? Yeah, so it's like details like that can only be seen up close with some really good, solid camera gear.
Well, to piggyback off that, actually, that's my next question.
Sure.
I mean, you know, when I judge or critique a movie or a TV show, there's lots to consider. Cinematography, directing, the actors' performances. If the movie has visual effects, I'll take that into consideration. If the 3D is good or not. But how do you judge a toy or action figure? Because I saw your videos on your YouTube channel.
Right.
Some of the toys you have to like maybe disassemble the head a little bit. You talk about the fabric of the cape. How do you judge a toy?
How do you judge a toy? Well, no, for me, there's so many factors. So I guess we'll try to break it down. There's just too many, so I'm gonna try to break it down as best as I can. It's easy for most people to understand. Number one is, does this piece portray what it's trying to do? For instance, I'll give you an example of a bad toy, actually. So I have the Batman v Superman. Now, it looks like Henry Cavill, but it's loose in the joints. It can't pose well. The cape is way too big. And if you look at that figure, you look at the face like, okay, it looks like Henry Cavill, but then when you try to pose and play with it, it just breaks apart in your hand. Is that really worth $60? See, when it comes to reviews, you're really trying to convince people if it's worth their money.
So that's the objective.
That's the objective. While a lot of these collectibles are really expensive, this Tony Stark available only in Japan. He's like $60 to $70. That's something that some people just don't know if they want to spend it. So they'll go to YouTube and they'll look it up and say, is this really worth it? And to me, when talking about this figure, we'll transition to how good this figure is. Yeah, absolutely. I spent $60 on this figure, but look at all you get. You get his power base, which is taken directly from the movie. You have interchangeable parts, so you can have regular Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark in his regular gear, or you can switch out for the Iron Man parts. You have all kinds of ways you can pose him. I mean, he looks just like him. The shirt's fantastic. You can even feel the fabric and everything. Judging a figure is basically like judging art. This is an art piece, in my opinion. You look at this is taken right out of the movie. And movies are considered to be art. Figures can be looked at the same way as an art piece. Because let's, for instance, Instagram has a lot of toy photography, and a lot of them is stuff that you just can't do in movies. Like, you can put Goku next to Tony Stark, right? Can you imagine this in movies? No, you can't. You just can't do this in movies because they're two separate properties. But because of the fact that they make a Harley Quinn from DC or a Tony Stark in plastic form, you can put these two together and make that art piece, that imagination, come to life.
And things have evolved over the years too, like from games, from the 8-bit era to now so amazingly cinematic look. Now it's the same thing as toys, it's changed over the years as well.
It has. Like, back in the day, getting a 3D printed face of Margot Robbie, which is just unheard of. So look at this. This is Margot Robbie right here. And basically you could post her with Tony Stark, and you could have her, like, I don't know, threaten him with a bat or something. Something that you just can't see in movies. Here. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, this looks fantastic.
Yes. This is fantastic. 3D printed and everything. This is something totally unheard of, like, back in the days. And things have just changed so much. The characters, the designs, the articulation, it's all in a different ballgame, especially when you compare the toys when I was, like, a kid. You just, like, it had like 4 points of articulation. Now we're talking about real humanoid action, 21 points of articulation. If you can move like her or like Tony, it can move just the same.
So here's a fun question though.
Sure.
Actually, 2-part questions. Like, what's the coolest toy you've ever reviewed, and what's the shittiest toy you've ever reviewed?
Oh man!
I know that's a lot to take in. Because you probably have a lot of lists in your head right now running.
So, opening this figure was really an eyesore compared to this one. So right here we have a Figma Bruce Lee. Looks nothing like him. Nothing. It's not 3D printed. And he's got like this diaper thing going on here. This figure is atrocious. It looks ugly. It poses okay, but then his muscles don't look like a real human. Oh, it's bad. Yeah. So one of my favorite figures, like opening him up right off the bat, just like open up a box of nostalgia. I love karate movies. Look at this. Looks just like Bruce.
That does look like Bruce.
You get all kinds of accessories. You get...
This looks like Donnie Yen.
Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, it looks like Donnie Yen. That's a good one. I was thinking, like, he looks like someone, but he doesn't look like... Yeah, he looks like Donnie Yen. And this one's just a better figure. He looks so much better. He looks like Bruce Lee. He comes with nunchucks, a scream of sticks. He comes with a bow staff. He comes with more hands. He comes with everything you need to recreate your favorite Bruce Lee movie in a plastic figure form.
I think the next level, they would have to make one with that has a sound.
And you know what? It will get to that point where, well, they make like an Iron Man figure in this scale, and it has lights. It's made out of metal. I think it even has sounds. It's just, wow. It's getting to that point where these figures are getting expensive, but they're also getting better.
All right.
That's what I really like about collecting nowadays. This is a prime time for collectors because they know that people like me have money now, so they're bringing back all this nostalgia stuff, like Bruce Lee. They're bringing back Dragon Ball Z stuff, Rama, all this old stuff now put into a newer format.
How does your wife let you get away with this?
Oh,
That's a lot of investments.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh man, it's a little bit.
That's the coolest wife ever.
Well, she's into collecting as well.
Yeah.
So see, when you have someone that loves what you love too, like movies and geek stuff, we can do this together, and we have been working on this channel together. Now, here's the thing: a lot of my reviews are older toys. I've been collecting for a very long time, even before I met Janelle. So it kind of already had this huge collection. Now, nowadays, I haven't been buying as much as I can, but we're trying to now move our channel. I mean, I'll still do these reviews. These are fantastic. These are excellent art pieces, but we're also trying to have Funko Pops is a big thing now. And I also love Funko Pops, so why not review those, and they're cheaper.
That's right.
See, you don't necessarily have to spend so much money on these. I mean, these are for the experienced collector or someone who likes the high-end toys, but then it doesn't mean the low end's bad. Funko Pops, they look cute, and you have every character under the moon. I mean, you got like Game of Thrones, you got even video games, you got so much, and then they put it into a plastic form, and that makes it so easy for people to start collecting and enjoying these things.
Okay, note to self, gotta find me a nerdy wife that lets me spend stuff on nerdy stuff.
You can always find them at Comic-Con.
There you go.
We're always there.
Now, here's the thing. I was a guest on your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Can we all agree that I was the most handsome guest you've had on?
Yes, you were. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Ron.
That's just...
I know you're watching this.
That's not a question.
Chewbacca mask, but
that's just a statement, by the way.
He's the most handsome.
So, as a YouTuber, what are some of your challenges? Because I'm a YouTuber too.
Oh man.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not a naturally funny guy. You know, I'm not Jim Carrey or Robin Williams. You know, so I have to
talking about
work
old Jim Carrey or new Jim Carrey?
the old one.
Okay, thank
the
you.
Ace Ventura one.
Yes, Ventura and Liar. Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
We're on the same page. We're kids of the 90s.
Yes.
So I have to work a bit hard to get the audience engaged. You know, put in a little bit of entertaining line here and there. So how do you engage your audience in these YouTube videos that you've had?
Well, the most common thing that I notice of successful YouTubers is you have to have a loud voice. And when I first started doing these reviews, I started to not do the loud voice thing. I was like, "Oh, hello everyone, my name is Dexter, and I'm going to review this toy." Nobody wants to hear. Yeah, you don't have. Nobody wants to. Everyone wants to be engaged. Like, I'll give you an example.
Yes.
Actors all have their own way of saying things.
Yes.
Right? They enunciate things differently. And that's what separates them as actors.
Okay.
That's what makes them popular.
They project from the diaphragm.
Yeah, they project, and they all do it differently.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can totally tell George Clooney from Brad Pitt. Like the way they talk, the way they are, their coolness, the way they talk. And the same thing goes for YouTube. When you're in front of a camera, you have a personality. Whether that's real or not, that's really not up to the audience because they don't know the real you, but they know what you sound like.
That's true.
So I can sound like this. So when I do a toy, I always, like as best I can, make sure that they're welcome. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us once again on the Dstar01 channel. I'm your host, Dexter Arafiles. See, I sound like that. I sound like an announcer. Oh, do I sound like that normally? No. Oh no, I can't. I can't keep that voice up for so long, and I can only do it for 5 minutes, and then I start getting raspy. So, I mean, that's a good way to separate yourself from others. Is your voice has to be different than other people. That's really a challenge because there's some people that they can grab people with their voices. They're just gifted with it. So, I mean, that doesn't mean you can't. I mean, you can eventually get there, and you will be found. I mean, you just got to work hard.
Yeah.
And it's sadly, I hate to admit this, sadly, YouTube's about volume of videos than quality. Now, don't get me wrong, quality is nice to have, 1080p, 60 frames per second, great sound and everything. But Does it mean that everyone will look at one video? No. You have to spread yourself a little bit thin. I'm not saying super thin, but you kind of get like what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You're starting to look up videos, do video interviews with geeks, and a lot of people actually like that. Like for instance, some viewers have told me that they love when people do toy hunts, and that's when they take a camera, they go outside looking for a toy that's really hard to find. And that hunt, and I've watched them, they're very exhilarating. Will this guy find the toy? And then he gets you all hyped up. It's like, will we find the toy in this Toys R Us? I don't know. Let's go and find it. And then when he finds it, it's like, the audience is like, oh, he found it. He can't believe it. Like, this is like 1 in 100 chance. And it's that excitement, you know? And does everyone like hunting videos? No. But then he'll do toy reviews. And then he'll do interviews. See, spreading yourself to multiple outlets is really a good thing.
And you know, a lot of folks have come to me too, and this is my final question, and probably like trying to get your take on it too, not necessarily a question.
Okay.
You know, a lot of folks like, okay, hey Rama, I want to start a YouTube about cooking, or YouTube about my Hello Kitty collection, or whatever it is. You know, but I don't know if I should do this or that. I don't know if that niche will be popular or not. I don't know if people are gonna watch it. No, just do it. Just do it. I can tell them, just do it. You know, you worry about the other specifics later. Just start a channel, and you know, sometimes you just do it for your own enjoyment.
Right. You have to kind of think of YouTube as not a job or not a money getter, or you have to think of it as you're doing this for yourself.
Yes.
Because you love this, and doing this is fun. Like, when I look at a toy and I review it, I just have so much fun. I can open up that door of creativity and tell the world what I think about this figure or this toy. And at first it was really slow, and it's still a little bit slow, but when I get like at least one comment or one like, oh man, it's amazing. It's like people know that you've done some sort of service to them, and that's fantastic. That's giving back to the world and sharing your passions all at the same time.
Yep. And
that's really what it's about. Eventually, the viewership will be there. It will. It just takes time. Because you're in a sea of faces, and people just need to find you. Exactly. That's really where it is.
You do you. So
you do you. Exactly.
So that's exactly why I featured you for this segment. So thank you so much, dstar01.
No problem. Thank you, Rama. It's such a pleasure to be here doing all this stuff. I love talking about it. I could do this for an hour if you want, but I know you're pressed for time, and I don't want this video to go too long.
But I appreciate you. I appreciate your YouTube channel, and hopefully we can see each other in the next con.
Okay.